Hey y'all, it's me and I'm back at it again with another YouTube video.
Sorry, I'm not into short guys.
What's up, y'all? I haven't been on this channel in like 2 months, and basically because a lot of things like have been going on with school. I have some exams coming up, lots of schoolwork. I recently got a leopard gecko and I've been putting all my time and care into that. Yeah, pretty much, like, it hasn't really been a lot going on, but, like, yeah, I just need a break from YouTube, if you know what I mean. The last time I posted was back in, December of last year. A lot hasn't changed since then, to be honest, not really, but if you might remember back in 2020, the video is private now, but, like, back in 2020, I did a Chucky ranking. I still remember that video. I was watching it earlier today, and it was like, I should like do an updated one with, the TV show coming out, like, well, it already came out since it was on its way. um I'm not going to be including the TV show in this ranking, but if I was, it will be number one on the list. I really love the TV show a lot, and I feel like Chucky was at his best in that show. His movements was on point. The kills were on point. The cast was on point. Everything about that show was good. I really liked it. I cannot wait for season 2. Can't wait to see what they're going to be doing with it. Can't wait to see all the new twists and turns going on with the show. But for now, I'm just going to do the movies. My list hasn't changed that much since the last ranking from 2020, but I'm going to start off at number 8. Alright, so just like my last ranking from 2020, number 8 is Child's Play 2019. I don't consider this a Chucky film, to be honest. I don't even know why I put it in here. I really don't consider it as a Chucky movie at all. The storyline was good. Buddy, he was okay. The cast was alright, nothing major. It was a basic movie, to be honest. I feel like it would have did really well on its own if it would have been just called like Buddy or something like that. It was kind of boring a little bit. I noticed a lot. This is a lot of people, like, a lot of people really like this movie. For me, I don't like it. I like Buddy. I just don't like the movie or the storyline. It was kind of bland, kind of boring. But I would say it was just a reimagination of Child's Play, like the original. And the original, I didn't really enjoy it that much either. I love the original, but like, it's not as enjoyable as the other ones, especially the ones higher on the list. So I can get why I didn't like this one, but if you did, that's totally fine. But yeah, this is my number 8, Child's Play 2019. Now, number 7, not a surprise, Call of CHUCKY. When this came out, I was like overly excited for it. I was really excited for this movie. I remember on one of my old YouTube channels from like back in 2016, I was making so many videos about this movie when it came out, the day it came out. Honestly, this is actually a really good movie. I love the storyline. I love the setting. I love how, I mentioned this in the last, like, in my other one, my ranking. I love how the entire asylum is, like, all white. And Chucky is, like, just the colorfulest thing there. He has lots of colors on him compared to the rest of the, like, building. And it really just made the movie, like, pop. Like, the color scheme of this movie is just amazing. I love the idea of multiple Chuckies running around. And this movie led up to what the Chucky TV series was, which was really good. I love the TV show. So without this, we wouldn't have the TV show. So, or like the storyline of the show that is now. So I really do appreciate this movie. I really do like it. It's just not as good as the other ones for me, but I really do like this movie. So number 7 is Cult of Chucky. I mentioned this earlier, not one of my favorites, but definitely a good one, the original Child's Play. A lot of people love this one. This is probably mostly every Chucky fan's number 2 on their list, but for me it's number 6 for a reason. This one I grew up a lot, like the ones I grew up a lot were the original, Seed, Bride, and like Child's Play 3 and 2. Well, basically all the original Chuckies except on like Before Curse. All of those were the ones I grew up with, low-key, but this one, I really like the tone of this movie. I like how scary it is. I like how it's like, like a vintage movie. It came out, I think, in the 90s or the 80s, one of those. So I don't know the exact date of this movie. But I really like the quality of it. It's very oldie. It's very old school, vintage, VHS. Like, it has that kind of vibe to it. And I love the voodoo elements. those like really like gave me the 90s feel to it, like with all the witch, like I wouldn't say witchcraft, but like the voodoo elements to it. The storyline of him having to put his soul into whoever he told was his real name, Charles Lee Ray, Andy Barkley. I really like that. That wasn't really incorporated into any of the other movies like that, like as much as it was in this one. I really liked Andy as a kid. He was super adorable as a kid, like for real, for real. I really liked Mrs. Barkley. Um Pretty much those are the only, it was only like three main characters in this movie, to be honest. The rest were like throwaway. But like Chucky in this movie, he was amazing. His movements, like for a movie so old, Chucky's movements in this, like the animatronics were really, really on point for a movie that's so old. And it's probably one of the best out of the franchise of his movements to be such an old movie. But number 6 is Child's Play. Now, to be honest, I really don't care if you're mad that I put this one over the original. Again, it's my ranking, it's my opinion. If you don't like it, you don't have to agree with it. Just at least respect me. Number 5 is Child's Play 3. This was one of the ones I watched the most as a kid. I'm pretty sure because I had this one on VHS. And, like, mostly all the scary movies I had on VHS as a kid are, like, my favorites out of all their franchises. Like Halloween H2O, I used to watch that one daily, basically, when I was a kid on VHS. Scream 3 daily. And like for Chucky, it was mainly this one and Bride. Those two are like so nostalgic to me. But Child's Play 3, I love how it takes place like out of, you know, a house. Like number 1 took place in the apartment building. Number 2 took place in the foster care house. So the first 2 took place in houses. I love how this went out of like the like, you know, casual settings for the Chucky movies into like a military base. So he has a lot more like range to different weapons, guns, BB guns, you know, rifles, all of that. Just not your basic house kitchen knife. So the kills in this movie were okay. It wasn't really anything like, you know, too out of there, too gory or nothing like that. There was like a bomb kill in this, which was pretty cool. The storyline was cool too. I liked the storyline. The characters were pretty throwaway besides Andy and Da Silva. Tyler, I wish he would come back in like season 2 of Chucky, but we haven't seen him since this movie, so I'm pretty sure I lost all my hope in him. Chucky in this movie was pretty interesting. His look was like, he looked a lot more like chubby in the face, I guess you could say. His look was like a lot more like wide. And I feel like literally the best part about this movie was the poster. The poster for this movie is so iconic, dude. Without like the Child's Play 3 logo, just that image of Chucky with the blue and red eyes is just iconic. Like, it's on a lot. I would say at least like 70% of the Chucky merch out there. This poster is all over it. And I understand why. It's so goodly drawn. It's such a good poster. And like the things, it's just like, I don't know. And like the tagline for this movie, "Look who's stalking," that was amazing too. Like everything about this movie to me was really, it was pure. I feel like I would say it was a pure movie. It was a good storyline. It had a good ending to it. And the way the movie ended leading up to Chucky's iconic new look, which he uses from Bride all the way until, I would say, Cults, I guess you could say. Because this look wasn't really shown in the Chucky TV series. And this look also, I mean, this movie also provided a new look for Chucky, the pizza face. A lot of people love this one. Like, the pizza face is probably Chucky's most iconic, like, I guess you could say face. Because I know a lot of people love the pizza face Chucky. Like, a lot of people in this community really love the pizza face. And I get why. It was new and fresh, you know. It was a fresh taste of Chucky for us. And number 5, so yeah, number 5 is Child's Play 3. Now, coming in at number 4 is Child's Play 2. This is a very iconic movie. This is mostly everybody's favorite Chucky movie. Not mine opinionally, but like, it's still a really good movie. I really love this one. This is obviously in my top 5s. Child's Play 2 is literally amazing. Like, everything about this movie is amazing. I don't have any kind of nitpicks about this movie. The third act is beautiful. Like, the factory, it's just like, it's amazing. I don't have any kind of nitpicks about it. And I don't really have words for this movie, to be honest. You're probably thinking like, oh, how are you saying it's this good when it's your 4th choice? But still, that's just my opinion. It's super good. But It comes in at number 4 for me. And now number 3 for me is Curse of Chucky. One word to describe this movie would be regenerating or refreshing. This was a great addition to the series after Seed of Chucky. This was just like such a fresh, it was like such a fresh taste of Chucky. We got him in an all new way we never seen him before. I love this setting. I love how this movie takes place all in one setting, like just throughout the whole movie. I love the characters. I love how at least most of the characters are really memorable and not just throwaway. And this movie introduced us to our new main character of the franchise, Nika Pierce. Nika, she's an amazing character. She was so badass in this. She was so badass in Cults. And even the little bit of screen time she had in Cult of Chucky, in the Chucky TV series, she was badass in that. So, I really love Nika. I love that they chose Brad's daughter to play her. I feel like Fiona is such a good actress, and she's so good at playing Nika. Yeah, that's it. I feel like this is like a great new taste of Chucky. I love his new good guy look. Like, I love the the Curse of Chucky doll. I don't care what anyone says. Chucky looks as like the doll, like the good guy doll from this movie is one of my favorite looks of Chucky, hands down. I love the look on it. It looks so innocent. Like, it just looks so good. The animatronics in this movie were also really good. And the fact that Nika is in a wheelchair, I really like that, and it was really like representing for that community. I feel like they did a great way at portraying that and incorporating that she is in a wheelchair into the movie. And I love how they didn't just make her like, a usual like runaway character, and they actually made her a fighter who stands up for herself and her surroundings, like Nika is. So number 3 is Curse of Chucky. For me, my list, number 2 is Seed of Chucky. Hate on me all you want, hate on this movie all you want, I care less. Seed of Chucky is an amazing movie. I love the setting of it. I love the characters. I love Jennifer Tilly. I love her playing herself in this movie. I love the character of Glenn and Glenda. I love the storyline of this movie. I love the idea of this movie. I love how the ending sums up everything that happened in this movie. Like, honestly, I feel like this is just a really amazing movie. The characters, there wasn't really many characters besides Chucky, Tiffany, Glenn, Glenda, and Jennifer Tilly, and like Redman, and that's it. Those are like 5 characters. There's like at most 5 memorable characters in this. The rest of them are pretty throwaway, like Joan, etc. One scene in this movie that stands out to me would probably be like the ending at the hospital when like Tiffany's like everything is just getting ready to like start the third act, and Tiffany's like switch, and then like Chucky's breaking down the door and Glenn's just like having a fucking mental breakdown. It's just like so much stuff going on, and I love that part. And then like Glenn ends up killing Chucky with the axe. That was literally amazing, and I love how Tiffany got into Jennifer Tilly's body at the end of that movie, and then they put Glenn and Glenda into human bodies too, that was like a really good like idea Don had with this. So out in the world, there's Glenn and Glenda running around in human bodies, and we haven't seen them since this movie. We have heard of them. We have heard the characters bring them up in a cult in the TV show. In one of the deleted scenes, or like one of the original drafts for Cult of Chucky, there's a scene when Tiffany and Nika Chucky gets into the car, and then Tiffany's like, I just miss Glenn and Glenda ever since Glenn ran off with his boyfriend and Glenda went to prison. That was a scene from Cult that never made it into the movie. And in the TV show, we have multiple references of Glenn and Glenda. There's a scene in the finale where Tiffany's like, I think it's like, isn't it gorgeous? My darling Glenda gave it to me. They have exquisite taste, I'm pretty sure. She says that to Junior. And then there's Miss Fairchild. I'm pretty sure anybody who watches the show can agree that that's most likely Glenda in disguise, or like as a human. I feel like Don should really take this opportunity while it's here and use Miss Fairchild as Glenda. I feel like if he waits until season 3 to say that she's Glenda, it probably wouldn't work as well, since it's been 2 seasons and you haven't confirmed anything yet or barely giving us any clues. I feel like Miss Fairchild being Glenda will work perfectly. Yeah, number 2 is Cedar Chucky. Yeah. Now we have my number 1 Chucky film on the entire list out of all the movies, out of everything Chucky related. Bride of Chucky. I watched this one the most growing up, and I feel like anyone who has good sense and just like any kind of good preference can agree that Bride of Chucky is the best, hands down. The style of this movie, I love the 90s goth, the 90s punk style and tone this movie has. I love the idea of Tiffany. I love her being a witch and participating in voodoo and Wicca elements. Like, the voodoo and Wicca elements into this movie is just so amazing. And then Jennifer Tilly playing Tiffany in the beginning of this movie was fucking amazing. I mean, she's a big titty goth woman. What is there not to love about her? Jennifer Tilly, she's just so stunning in this movie. Doll form and human form, she's fucking stunning. The poster for this movie is very iconic. The characters are very... No, they're not memorable. The characters are very throwaway in this movie, but that doesn't matter because Tiffany just steals the show. Tiffany eats up anything that she's in. Any kind of any kill she's doing, any scene she's talking in. Anything. And I feel like her little transformation is probably one of the most iconic scenes in the entire Chucky franchise. Hands down. That scene is just so iconic and so stunning. I love her voice in this movie. I love Jennifer Tilly's voice. Brad Dourif, he did an amazing job in this too. Enough about Tiffany, but also about Chucky. About Chucky, one thing I loved about him was his new look. I loved his little widow's peak. I loved his new Stitch face and his ran down outfit. All of that was just amazing. Everything about this movie is amazing, and the best part about this movie is definitely the soundtrack. The soundtrack in this movie was fucking amazing. This movie had the best soundtrack out of all the other movies. There's a song in here. It's called "Crazy" by Kidney Thieves. It's the one that's I'm crazy for trying. If you know that song from that part in the movie where she's crying after taking off Chucky's ring in the bed with Damien. That song, I literally live for that fucking song. I mostly listen to it when I'm thrifting. Whenever I'm thrifting right now. When I'm thrifting, I put my AirPods in and I put that shit on repeat. That song is so it just gives me such early 90s, 80s vibes. And I love the 90s goth style, to be honest. So that's why I love this movie so much. I love the fashion in this movie, mostly from Tiffany. Yeah, I just love everything about this movie. I love is because of Tiffany. Without Tiffany in this movie, I wouldn't love it at all. Tiffany, she really she just stole the show, and that's all. And that's that. So number 1 is Bride of Chucky, hands down. You can say what you want. You can be mad if you want. It don't matter to me. Bride of Chucky is my favorite, and in my opinion, it's the best. So yeah. So yeah, y'all. That was my ranking of all 8 Chucky movies. In the thumbnail, I did include the Chucky TV series. I don't really know why, since I didn't include it in the ranking. Mainly because I'm doing the movies, and it's not a movie, so I don't know. But my opinion on the TV show, I really enjoyed it. I cannot wait for season 2. Hopefully, Don, please bring back Glenn and Glenda. That's the only thing that I want for season 2. Out of everything, I want to see... Well, there's 2 things. I want to see Tiffany have a good ending. I want to see Glenn and Glenda come. I want Tiffany to move on from Chucky and just do better with her life. I want her to still be in the franchise, but I want her to at least move on from Chucky and do better with herself. Get back into her Wicca, whatever makes her happy is what I want. That's what I want for her. And I want Glenn and Glenda back. I want Glenn and Glenda back, to be honest. But yeah, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed my ranking. Let me know yours in the comments down below if they're on YouTube. Like to turn my comments off for some reason. But yeah, for now, I'll see y'all next time. Bye. And if you're watching this, go watch last week's video. It was me upgrading my leopard geckos tank to a 20 gallon. So yeah, I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye.